a woman was forced to live in a dark, cramped shed with monsters, and because of that, she gave birth to 108 children. In this world where humans and monsters coexist, countless half-monster, half-human beings exist. A boy named Jack is one of them, a spider demon. His mother is a spider, and his father was human. But before Jack was even born, his father tragically fell off a cliff and died. And when Jack was still little, he came down with a serious illness. But his mother couldn't treat him using monster medicine. To keep Jack alive, she had no choice but to send him to live with her uncle. But her uncle made a cruel demand. To let Jack grow up as a human, she had to accept his terms. So every day, Jack would wait by their little cabin, hoping for his mother's return. Then one day, curiosity got the better of him. He followed his mother's trail, opened the door to that shed, and discovered a shocking truth. To keep the experiment from being interrupted, his uncle knocked him out with a rock. When Jack woke up, he had lost all memory of what he saw. His uncle lied to him, saying his mother was sick and couldn't see him for a while. From that day on, Jack kept asking about his mother's health, but his uncle's vague answers made him suspect she might already be dead. So Jack refused to face that cruel truth. He started running from it instead. 10 years passed. Then, by chance, he met Mr. Andy. To find any news about his mother, they went back to Jack's hometown. Andy got in touch with Jack's uncle, but the uncle lied again, saying Jack's mother had died when Jack was 5, and that Jack had been so traumatized by seeing her death that his memories got scrambled. Hearing this, Jack tried to hide the pain inside, but his friends could still tell how much he was hurting. They decided to take him to see some fireflies, hoping to cheer him up. In the forest, Jack's hidden memories started coming back. He followed his old memories to the shed, but his mother was no longer there. Inside, they found medical equipment scattered all over the floor. The horrifying truth finally came to light. At the same time, under Andy's interrogation, the uncle confessed to using Jack's mother as a test subject to produce something called golden silk thread. It turns out golden silk thread is extremely valuable in that world. That's why the uncle threatened Jack's mother, forcing her to give birth to spiders that could produce the thread. When Jack learned the truth, he rushed to the scene, just as he was about to kill his uncle to avenge his mother. Suddenly, a bunch of monsters appeared from the forest. The uncle told Jack that these were all failed experiments, but they were also his mother's children. Looking at all those monsters, Jack couldn't imagine the suffering his mother had gone through. Totally broken, he begged David to take revenge for him. But just then, a girl named Jenny showed up. She told Jack that his mother wasn't actually dead. She was just hidden away by the uncle. The uncle smirked. He thought Jack could never kill him if he wanted to find his mother. But what the uncle didn't expect was that Andy had already figured out the hiding place, based on places the uncle visited often. Soon they found the mother deep under a lake in the forest. She had been asleep there for a very long time. And in the end, the uncle couldn't escape death. So, would you give up everything for your child? A guy is about to confess his love to the woman he calls his sister, but not by blood. Suddenly, another man rushes onto the stage with a gun. His target, her. In the blink of an eye, the guy jumps in front of her and takes the bullet. Blood soaks through his shirt. His vision blurs, then fades. 10 years earlier, after his parents died in a car crash, a young man named Jack was taken in by his dad's research partner. That's how he ended up living with his adoptive father's daughter as her stepbrother, on paper. 10 years of growing up together, side by side. And somewhere along the way, they fell for each other. In this world, AI has completely transformed everyday life. A lot of people have lost their jobs to it. Some have even started families with virtual AI girlfriends. But Jack's sister? She's a genius in the AI field, building her own robotics company. She's so talented, it only makes Jack fall harder. But with that brother label hanging over them, he has no choice but to bury his feelings. Until one day, the dating AI she created starts getting slammed by critics. Why? Because it thinks and feels a little too much like a real human. The backlash hits her hard. She goes from confident to completely down. So Jack decides to help her bounce back his way. The next day, he asks her out to the zoo on the weekend. She says yes, totally excited. They spend the day watching adorable animals, catch a movie together, and slowly close the gap between them. Her mood lifts. After dinner, Jack gives her a robotic dog he built himself. Then he tries to tell her how he really feels. But she's so nervous she cuts him off and changes the subject. Jack thinks it means she doesn't like him that way, so he drops it. On the way home, she stops walking and asks him to take a detour to the Skybridge. That's when she hands him a carefully prepared gift, a scrapbook of their daily moments over the past 10 years. And then she confesses her love to him. Jack is over the moon. He holds her tight, soaking in her warmth. Even better, her dad finds out and gives them his blessing. 1 year later, she holds a new product launch despite all the outside noise. She stands on stage, full of confidence, painting a bold future between humans and robots. But then a man storms the stage with a gun. He screams that her research goes against God's will. In that split second, Jack charges forward. He takes the bullets meant for her. Multiple shots. He collapses on stage, unconscious. When Jack finally opens his eyes, he's lying in a pile of rubble. He crawls out and realizes the world is completely different. It turns out his sister secretly developed cryosleep technology, and it carried him 200 years into the future. Now, in this post-apocalyptic world, Jack is about to start a whole new journey with a mysterious robot who has his sister's exact face. So, do you support the development of AI technology? Mom was especially happy today. Even the way she swept the floor looked like a little dance. That morning, they had gotten a call from their daughter. She told them she'd already bought her plane ticket and would be home soon. After hanging up, they got straight to work cleaning the house. Dad took care of the rooms, while Mom washed their daughter's bedsheets. And Mom also shared the good news with all her relatives. Then she happily went out to buy all her daughter's favorite foods. She came back home carrying bags full of groceries, beaming with joy. Once inside, she started cooking in the kitchen, and soon made a huge, delicious meal. But as the sun began to set, their daughter still hadn't shown up. No one answered the phone either. Mom's excitement slowly turned into worry. Late that night, Mom was dozing on the sofa when she suddenly seemed to sense something. She jumped up and rushed to open the door, and there stood her daughter, about to use her key to let herself in. But then the scene shifted. Mom now had a full head of white hair. Her parents had grown old, waiting again and again for their child to come home. A long time later, the daughter had become a mother herself. She went home with her own child, but no one was there to open the door for her anymore. How long has it been since you last went home? This has got to be the most terrifying mobile game ever. One girl got so scared she literally screamed her head off. Not long ago, she was just bored, so she started playing a pancake game her friend recommended. The game looked super simple at first, but it actually had a deadly secret hidden inside. In the game, you have to feed pancakes and milkshakes to a little bunny and a kitten. The girl was having fun, when suddenly a man appeared on her screen. Turns out, he could actually control the game. He started feeding the bunny both a milkshake and pancakes at the same time. He was having a blast, but the little bunny was about to be stuffed to death. Then another girl pushed in a cart stacked with pancakes. The bunny was terrified just seeing it, but the man kept shoving pancakes into the bunny's mouth. He completely ignored how the bunny felt. After 10 minutes of crazy forced feeding, the girl next to him felt like something was seriously wrong. She reached out to try and stop the man. By then, the bunny had already ballooned to over 300 pounds, but the man didn't care at all. He still kept force-feeding the bunny. The poor bunny barely managed to swallow the pancakes, but the man brought over another plate of pancakes. The bunny ate them anyway, afraid of being punished. But then its body suddenly started to swell up, and with a huge explosion, the girl was so freaked out that she let out a blood-curdling scream. Would you dare to try a game this horrifying? The dolls were furious after being dumped by their owner, so they hatched a plan to get revenge on her. Barbie straight up threw 6 flying swords at her, but the owner dodged every single one. A little girl watched the whole thing with curiosity. She stared as the dolls attacked her owner. The owner only made it out safe when the door finally shut. The dolls cheered and celebrated their victory, but they didn't expect the girl to suddenly come back. Even so, the dolls ignored her and kept hunting for the owner. Then, out of nowhere, the girl grabbed one of the plush dolls, and she whip-tossed it across the room. Facing such brutal behavior, the dolls had no idea what to do. A moment later, the owner was on the phone and swung the door open. The plush doll, furious, hurled a block at the door, but it only smacked the doorframe. She angrily ordered Barbie to attack the girl. Instead, the block ended up in the girl's hands. Seeing the girl get distracted by the block, the dolls tried to sneak away, but they didn't realize it was a trap she'd set. As soon as they stepped in front of her, she slammed the ground hard. The impact sent the dolls flying. The plush doll seized the chance to hide inside a pirate barrel. She hoped to launch herself toward the owner, but that failed too. The girl simply grabbed her. With no other options, the plush doll tossed the clip she was holding, and just then, the owner spotted the clip on the floor. That's when the owner finally noticed the girl tormenting her plush doll. She looked at the doll she'd loved most as a kid, and she pulled it into a tight hug. That hug shattered the bitterness inside the plush doll. In the end, she forgave her owner. Would you ever forget the toys from your childhood? The girl never expected that after confessing to the older student she had a crush on, she'd find out that she was actually a guy. The guy thought she'd be crushed, but surprised, she got even more excited. That really confused him. Then the guy, Jack, made it clear he wasn't into her. He said even if they dated, they wouldn't develop real feelings for each other. Plus, Jenny, the girl, was a freshman, so she probably didn't know his fashion choices had caused a lot of drama among other students. Jack was worried that if she hung around him too much, she might get caught in the crossfire. Still, Jenny wouldn't give up. She said she'd be happy to be his first love. That actually made Jack's heart skip a beat. The next day, Jenny went all out chasing him between classes. Jack was so exhausted from trying to avoid her. In gym class, Jenny got teased again for dressing like a girl. Jack just smiled, he was used to that kind of thing by now. And at that moment, Jenny happened to be outside for her own class. Jack realized he couldn't hide anymore, so he came clean. The older students all knew he often wore girls' clothes to school, and anyone hanging with him would be labeled a weirdo. He thought that would finally make Jenny back off, but to his surprise, Jenny only became more determined to go after him. Not long after, Jenny wanted to make up for getting tomato sauce on Jack's handkerchief, so she gave him a pink one as a replacement. But unluckily, the wind blew it into a tree. That's when Jack suddenly remembered. His mom once said a boy shouldn't use girly things. Just as Jack was about to give up, Jenny actually climbed the tree herself, grabbed the handkerchief, and handed it to him. Jack was so moved. He said he'd treasure it for sure. But their whole little scene was seen by Jack's best friend, David. Soon after, David confronted Jenny, demanding to know what her angle was. At the critical moment, Jack showed up. Seeing how close Jack and David were, Jenny mistakenly thought Jack already had a boyfriend. Jack had to explain they were childhood friends. Only then did Jenny relax. Then David kept grilling Jenny, but Jack said he trusted she didn't mean any harm, and scolded David. After being scolded, David walked off looking hurt, but he didn't give up. Soon he caught Jenny secretly sniffing something, so he dragged Jack along to expose her scheme. Turns out, what Jenny was sniffing was that green handkerchief with tomato sauce on it. After they snatched it away, Jenny got really sad. David apologized to her and was about to leave, when a student handbook fell out of his pocket. Jenny curiously opened it, and inside was a photo of Jack sleeping. David rushed back to grab the handbook, and warned Jenny never to tell Jack. Jenny took the chance to demand a photo of Jack as payment. After seeing the photo, Jenny was even more sure that David had a crush on Jack too. Would you ever wear girls' clothes?